Welcome, everyone, to the Week 0 preseason power rankings tier list for the Fourth Line Plugs. Going to be both a tier list and a power rankings. So the teams are going to be put into these tiers. Stanley Cup favorites, will make the playoffs, should make the playoffs, might make the playoffs, and won't make the playoffs. And these teams will be ordered from left to right. So if Anaheim is here, Boston is the next team. So this would be, say, Team 32, Team 31. Just as for instance, let's kick it off. Who's 32?
Number 32 in my power rankings is the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
They're not a good team.
No. I assume it's in the won't make the playoffs category.
Yes, in the won't make the playoffs category. Yeah. So they'll have lots of friends there.
Yep.
Because number 31, I'm going to put the San Jose Sharks.
Okay.
They don't have a blue line at all. They'll be fun to watch, but they won't win a lot of games, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Not yet. Not yet. Then next up, I have the Philadelphia Flyers. They won't be as fun to watch, but they're not going to win very many games.
They have a little bit more of a blue line, though.
They have more of a blue line. So they'll win slightly more games, I would say. But not a lot of forward talent. Next up is the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't think Sidney Crosby will let me put them any lower than this. As much as I might want to tank for McKenna, the rest of the roster around him has never been worse. The blue line is probably worse than the Sharks or the Blackhawks, which is crazy to say, looking at the guys that those guys are fielding. But I mean, the Penguins are really bad right now.
Yeah.
Next up, still in the won't make the playoffs tier, I have the Calgary Flames. Yep. They are also in full tank mode. I think Wolf is going to steal them a bunch of games, but they're going to trade away some assets that are helping them win games, I think, this year, and I think they're not very good. Next up is the Boston Bruins. They've got some stuff, but I don't think they're going to put it together. This is a slightly higher tier, I would say. Maybe there should be another tier. But this team also isn't making the playoffs, so it makes sense within our playoff versus not playoff ranking. But I would say that for the next couple teams that are also going to be and won't make the playoffs are teams that are a little better than the first set of teams.
Right.
We're talking like, they're still not going to. It doesn't matter, honestly. It doesn't matter. They're all bad, but sure.
There's a chance that they could be decent.
Those
not a good
are
chance.
The teams, right? They might move up to might make the playoffs if they have like a crazy start to the season or something like that. I can, in no world am I ever seeing the Flames or the Penguins making that jump.
Yeah.
So
and just to catch
maybe it's just the
everyone
Penguins.
It's 32 for Chicago, 31 for San Jose, 30 for Flyers, 29 for Pittsburgh, 28 for Calgary, 27 for Boston. Who's 26?
26 is the Seattle Kraken.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, more so than some of the teams that they're going to be around here. I think that at least the expectations for them is still that they're not going to be a good team. Not sure that Boston has had that sunk in yet, and definitely not sure about our next team.
Yep.
The Nashville Predators.
At 25.
On whether that's sunk in yet. I have Nashville Predators at 25. Yeah, they probably won't have the second worst record or third worst record in the NHL or whatever, but
probably not.
But I still don't think that there's a world where they get moved up to might make the playoffs. So like those other teams.
Yeah.
Later on in the year after they've shown more to me. But right now my expectation is that this team will not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Another team that won't make the playoffs, I think the New York Islanders.
At 24.
At 24. They've actually gone up a little bit, even since the entire preseason has happened, just because Matthew Schaefer has looked awesome.
Yeah, he has.
And there's a real possibility that he could be a difference maker, a Wayne Hudson type of first year, and kind of give him a little bit of life. We've talked a bunch of times about how there are some good pieces on this roster. It's still not a good roster, even if Schaefer was Quinn Hughes. I still don't think this is a good roster. But if Schaefer is Quinn Hughes, are they not making the playoffs? You know, in the Metro, like
the Sorokin and net. You know,
I mean, or Wayne Hudson. We'll say he has the exact same season that Wayne Hudson had last year, right? Like, this is probably at least close to a playoff team in the Metro, if that's the case, right? So, you know, I'm not projecting that Schaefer is going to be that great, because that's just a rarity to happen. But he looked really good in the preseason, so I think there's a chance for him. So that's why they're towards the top of this tier for me.
I do wonder, once he plays against some teams that are trying a little bit harder and against more physical opponents, how he's gonna hold up.
Yeah, that's true. And speaking of teams that have struggled against opponents that are trying and also more physical opponents, the last team in this tier of won't make the playoffs is the Anaheim Ducks
at 23.
They're the most likely team, I think, to make the jump, to might make the playoffs. They could prove quite a bit here. They've got the young forwards, they've got the young defensemen to like kind of make the step, but I think they're still kind of far away. They had a weird year last year where they were way better than they were supposed to be because of Lucas Dostal and how good he was in net. One of the best goalie seasons in a while.
Yeah,
honestly, it was a really, really good goalie season from him. So I don't expect that to be the normal.
Yeah.
I think he's a great goalie, but I don't think he's that like level of goalie. So I think there'll be some regression to the mean there. I think that the team on paper didn't necessarily get that much better than it was before. They made a couple of additions, but nothing like huge to where you'd expect them to make a big jump. So it's going to be on their young players to really, really make a jump, and we'll see what Leo Carlsson does. But I think I'm just not expecting them to be a playoff team. Yeah, honestly. There's too many other teams that I think are going to be ahead of them.
Yep.
So then we're going to have a tier break here to might make the playoffs. The next team on my tier list, I have the Detroit Red Wings.
Detroit at 22.
Yep. We'll see what we get out of John Gibson. There could be some movement here. They've got the combination of young guys who could take a leap. Maybe a Mo Sider has a great breakout season. And John Gibson is a huge question mark. And Casper, that's the other guy I think to take a look at. Maybe could potentially bring this team to finally make the Yzer plan a real thing. You know, finally we trusted the trusted the Yzer plan. I don't know. This team to me doesn't scream playoff team right now. But they've got some of the pieces to get there. Yeah. So I'm gonna say they're better than the Ducks, but not by that much.
Right.
You know, not by that much. And then next up, I have the Columbus Blue Jackets.
21.
And might make the playoffs at 21. Yes. Columbus has a really bad goaltending problem.
Yeah.
And they have a really not bad rest of their team. They've got a lot of things to be excited about. They got a lot of young guys that are gonna grow into being, I think, really good NHL players. They're also in the Metro, which is about the best place you could be if you want to make the playoffs. The Metro and the Pacific, a little less so, but yeah, I like this forward group. I think I'm pretty happy with this defense core. I absolutely hate Merzlikins in net, and I think he loses them enough games to where they're probably not going to make the playoffs. So there's just enough teams ahead of him, but we'll see. There could be some movement there. So
hey, maybe Jet Greaves comes in and just kills it as a young goalie and carries him up. Jordan Binnington style.
There is a possibility for sure. Next up in my might make the playoffs tier at 20 is the Buffalo Sabres.
There they are. I was waiting for them to come out.
You're waiting for them. I'm high on this Sabres lineup on paper. Mm-hmm. I love their blue line. I think they have enough pieces of forward guys that if guys get it together, that they'll be able to do stuff. The Quinn Kulik Doan line looked really cool in the preseason.
Yep.
I think they're going to be an exciting line to watch during the thing. 3 guys under 24, but has a lot of firepower there. And UPL got injured in preseason.
Yep.
They're going in with Lyon and Georgiev. That is a spooky, scary goaltending combination. And I'm not so sure that when UPL comes back that they're that much better because he has been on a tight leash. So
I mean, anything's better than trying out Georgiev at this stage. I'll take
Maybe
anything.
so.
I might take Merz Lincoln's over Georgiev.
That is true. But as it is with the Buffalo Sabres, they play worse than they look on paper. They have consistently.
Yep.
I don't know why that's the case, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think this is a playoff roster on paper. They're in the Atlantic, the hardest division.
Yep.
And they are consistently underperforming.
Yeah.
So it may be the Central's harder. But they're in a hard division.
Yeah,
in the Metro, this team wins. 5-10 more games over the course of the season, and probably has a better chance at making the playoffs.
Yep.
Speaking of teams that are probably only in this because of their division is the Utah Mammoth. They're at the top of the might make the playoffs tier for me.
Okay.
This team is quite good. I like this roster construction. I think they don't have any major holes. They have a lot of good pieces and a lot of good players that can get you there. But they're in the Central.
Yep.
And I mean, I think they're the second worst team in the Central, or third worst team in the Central, right? Which is crazy because I think in the Pacific they might be the third or fourth best team on a good day. So I mean, I think they're a team that are going to have a lot of hard games to play, and we'll see a lot of who they are. But I don't expect them to win enough of those to make the playoffs over some of the other harder hitters in the Central that we're about to get to.
Yep.
So
it'll depend on their goaltending, I think.
Yes.
I think if the goaltending is good, this is a playoff team. If the goaltending is not good, this is not a playoff team.
I think the goaltending has to be very good for it to be a playoff team. Or,
Or if they're just like the healthiest team in the Central, then they might get there by default.
That does help. Or we get like a huge breakout year from Logan Cooley with a, point per game, 30 goals, 40 goals, whatever, We'll see. Next up, we have a tier break. So that was how many teams we have 14 teams in might make the playoffs. So you'll note that there are 16 teams that should be out of the playoffs, right? So I'm going to put 2 extra teams in the should make the playoffs team. So there are going to be some teams that are lower, that are not meeting their expectations.
Yes.
We'll say that. So we'll see who it's going to end up being. But there's too many good teams right now, I think, for how many playoff spots there are. Like the NHL quality of competition is pretty high. I mean, there's 18 teams here that I think look like playoff teams, and these 4 teams that I just put in that tier, there are definitely years where those would have looked like playoff teams as well. Yeah. So it's a strong year for the NHL.
I agree.
So next up at the bottom of should make the playoffs at 18 on my list, I have the Montreal Canadiens.
Ooh, Montreal falling out.
I have Montreal 16. Canadiens. They have technically fallen out of the top 16 if we're taking this at the exact. And I mean, I think that the Atlantic is really hard.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be really hard on teams like Montreal, who are a little bit young, a little bit unexperienced, not particularly physical. Their blue line has some questions. They've added in Noah Dobson this year, who helps them a lot with having another puck mover and another really good offensive defenseman alongside Wayne Hudson. But they don't really have the rock solid, stable defensemen to pair with those guys.
Yeah.
And I just worry, and I worry about Sam Montembeault getting a little bit shelled by some of these high octane teams in the Atlantic. And I just think that they maybe overperformed a little bit last year compared to where they are in their rebuild process. They still have some amazing pieces, and I think they still should make the playoffs. Like, you look at this team, this looks like a playoff team, but the reality of the NHL is that, I have two teams in these tiers that are not going to make it, and right now I think that it's Montreal.
Yeah.
It's tough. Because you guys have heard me. How many Montreal players have I sung the praises of over the course of our podcast so far? I mean, I like this team a lot, and they could prove me wrong for sure. And that's why should make the playoffs and not might make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
The tier break seemed appropriate here. This is a better team for sure than Utah is. But I have them at 16. And
18.
at 15, at 18, right?
Yes.
And then at 17, also just missing the playoffs. Currently, I have Vancouver.
Okay.
Now, is Vancouver actually going to miss the playoffs? We'll see where they wind up. But this is one of the teams that has, I would say, the most question marks out of any of the teams in the playoff tier. But I just, they have Quinn Hughes. If they get a full healthy season out of Quinn Hughes and a bounce back season out of Elias Pettersson, which I'm assuming is going to happen because of the change in locker room stuff, the injuries potentially messing with him and stuff like that. I mean, this is still a good team because of just two players,
Yeah.
And we'll see what they get out of their goaltending. Demko may be good. If he's really good, then obviously this team will easily make the playoffs. If he's not that good, I still think Lankinen is a serviceable backup or 1B or 1A, I guess, if that's what he needs to be. He's a solid goalie, right? Like, I think he can win them enough games to get there in, what is ultimately super, super weak Pacific Division, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to have a lot of easy games. In order for them to make the playoffs, realistically, they just have to beat the Kings.
Yep.
So that's going to be the question for the Canucks. I don't think they're better than any of the Central teams that I think are going to make the playoffs.
Probably not.
But
might not be better than Utah.
Might not be better than Utah, but that still might be good enough because of how bad the Pacific is. So we love their defense core. We've talked about that before. Love their defense core. Their forward group is a little thin. We'll see.
Might be really exciting, though.
Yeah.
Braden Coots has looked really good. He looks like he's going to make the team. Karamakis looks really good.
You gotta love 18-year-olds drafted in the 20s? Teens?
No, he was
teens?
15th. 15th
overall. Teens making the team?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whether he'll stay there for long or not, I don't know, but looks like opening night he's going to be.
He really fills a giant need that they had. So
yeah. Yep.
So very exciting. And so right above this team, I have the Los Angeles Kings,
number 16.
This is the number 16 team. I have the LA Kings.
Should make the playoffs.
Yep,
for real.
This is yes. So I think these teams are kind of a toss-up between the Kings and the Canucks. I don't think either of them are going to be fantastic teams that are like really, pushing anybody to the edge.
Yep.
In the playoffs or anything like that. But I think I have a lot more faith in the Kings than the Canucks to actually get it done. They just have more veterans. They have more proven stable players. They're not relying on any jumps or anything like that. But I mean, They're an old team and a couple of health issues, and they look really bad. I mean, they look really bad. They have some really important slots filled by old guys, like a Drew Doughty injury to this team.
Yeah,
like kind of just eliminates any like offensive upside from their blue line completely, because of all the changes that they made and on their blue line this year. I mean, they're just they're one Drew
had injuries as well.
Yep, Kemper's not had a very healthy
career.
Yeah, and then Anze Kopitar is 38. I mean, there's always a chance that we lose. He's been insanely healthy. Of late, but I mean, at some point your body catches up to you, and I wouldn't be surprised if some games are missed. So yeah, I think everyone healthy, this team is significantly better than the Canucks, but I'm not 100% convinced that they'll be able to stay healthy. So we'll see though. Maybe an Anze Kopitar retirement tour lights a fire under everybody, and they actually look really good. I mean, if they all stay healthy and everyone plays well, it's a good team. It's a good team. It's just,
and if they make the playoffs and they make the finals with Corey Perry,
yeah, and then they're gonna lose in the finals. So we'll see who. So yeah. Interesting team for sure. Those are the two teams I think will be fighting for that final spot in the West, in the Pacific specifically, the third seed in the Pacific. So better than them, but in the Central, next up at 15, I have the Minnesota Wild. I like this team a lot. They've got Kaprizov locked up forever. Now, lots of questions there, but 16 million is a ton of, or 17 million, is a ton of money. So we'll see how that hampers their roster construction in the future. But this year they still have them on a very reasonable 9 million. And there's a lot of other guys to like on this team. So I think this is a good team. We have a very interesting blue line. With a lot of young guys that are going to get chances to take a step, but they have enough like veteran presence there to for me to not feel like this is like a disaster waiting to happen. So I think that's pretty exciting. We'll see what Bouillon specifically I think is going to be an exciting player to watch. So we'll see what he's capable of doing. And then I mean, Marco Rossi is currently listed as their 1C, which is a little bit far from ideal. But they got Kaprizov and Boldy on that line. So I mean, Kaprizov is obviously the runner of the line, does everything. So I think there's a lot of good things to like about this team. They're in the Central, so they're gonna have a tough time of it. And obviously, if they get like a Kaprizov injury or a Gustafsson injury, or something like that, I mean, they're injuries happen and it makes it harder to do. But I don't know. I think on paper this is a very, very good team that I think is just going to be really good in the regular season and then not do anything in the playoffs.
I think this team just lacks, I don't know, some proven sauce or something. Like this team looks really good, but like this is one of the teams I would bet to miss the playoffs if somebody in the Central is going to disappoint. Like it's going to be the Wild because the Stars and the Jets and the Avs have just done it. And
for sure,
the Wild haven't done it. And
and
it's
if
hard
I'm
to say
picking
that
a team,
they will do it.
If I'm picking a team that is like one of the least likely to make it past the first round of the playoffs, it's the Wild. I just think the ceiling of this team isn't very high, and the floor is pretty decent if everyone's healthy. But I'm worried about their roster construction with Kaprizov making that much money going forward. We'll see what they're able to do with that kind of contract on the books. Very interesting. Next up at 14. I'm good at remembering things. We have the Ottawa Senators. I like the Ottawa Senators, and I wish I could put them higher than this because I really like the team.
Yeah.
But they're in the Atlantic, which is automatically tough.
Yep.
For them. They're just going to lose more games, and they are missing just a little bit of high end. They currently have Drew and Perron listed as top 6 wingers, which is not ideal. I would say if you're relying on two 37-year-olds well past their prime to still be big time contributors in your top 6. But everything else about these rosters is fantastic. Or about this roster is fantastic. So I mean,
and when Batherson comes back, he'll kick one of those two down to the third line.
We can only hope. Yeah. So
unless he just replaces a Brady Tkachuk who also gets hurt when he comes back or something, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, this team has basically everything in my book. They have a goalie that can get it done. They have a 1D that has an amazingly bright future, and they have a 1C that has an amazingly bright future. Yep. So it's hard not to think that these are going to be a perennial playoff team for the upcoming future. And honestly, I mean, this is just with the Florida injuries, which we will get to. This is one of those teams I could see being a little bit sneaky.
I think Ottawa's going to have a great regular season and will definitely make the playoffs. I just don't know once in there.
Yeah.
How long does the magic go?
Yeah, they need a couple runs, I think, just to get some experience on Stützle and Sanderson, and then maybe make sure that they're surrounded with the right kind of guys to help them succeed in the playoffs. So, I think Ottawa's going to be buyers at the deadline. I think this is a good year for them to go all in for the first time because they really don't have any holes to fill. Yeah. So if they go get themselves a top 6 winger, maybe a Brian Rust, a Ricard Raquel, please take them. No, but I mean, if they go out and get themselves a true top 6 winger that is playoff tested, like Brian Rust on this team would be such a huge difference maker. No, a guy with that much playoff experience just coming in and helping out with that can still play, those kind of top 6 minutes. So they're pieces away, I think, from being Stanley Cup contenders. I think right now where they're at, because of how hard the thing is, they're in this should make the playoffs tier. Yeah. Which is crazy to think about, the jump between that. But they have one of the brightest futures, I think, of any of the teams in this tier.
Yeah.
And then the last team in the should make the playoffs tier.
Yep.
I have the St. Louis Blues.
Number 13.
The St. Louis Blues. The St. Louis Blues are honestly an interesting team. They've got some weird lineup construction and some weird things, and they have 2 guys that they stole from Edmonton that are looking like absolute studs on this roster, and Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway, who have just grown into crazy roles for this team. There really aren't any holes in this roster. This is just a good roster that just has a lot of depth. They have a lot of good players. They don't quite have the ceiling, I think, to be true Stanley Cup contenders.
Yeah.
So that's to me their biggest issue. Binners might be that ceiling, honestly, if he goes on a heater. Right? Yeah. He is one of those guys that can absolutely get it all done. Yep. But I'm not sure how many other guys on their roster have that take over the game potential that you really need in order to be able to make a good long finals run.
Yep.
So combine that with the fact that they're in the Central, so it's going to be hard and stuff like that. That's why I have them in this tier instead of being more confident about their ability to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they're just a tier below the teams that we're about to get to. But I like this roster a lot. I don't know how you could really fix them with the way that it's constructed. I mean, really, I think what they need is more of a 1D that has a little bit more sauce to them than a Fowler or a Parayko. I think both of those guys are better being the second best defenseman on your team.
Yeah.
So maybe they can do something with that.
Yeah, I think some juice on the blue line would be The biggest.
But that the floor of that blue line is just insanely like consistent, right? Like you really know what you're getting with Fowler, Parayko, Broberg, and Falk at this point. Like those are just guys that are going to be able to give you really consistent, good minutes. So the Blues are good. The Blues are good, but they're not. They're not like they're not Stanley Cup favorites. They're not Stanley Cup contenders, really, in my mind. So they need a lot to go right in order for them to really make a run. Next up, I have the will make the playoffs tier. We're doing a little tier break. So these are teams that I think are more able to make a run than those teams. And these are teams that there's basically no question in my mind right now that they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they have to be significant injuries.
They'd have to lose major guys for a long time or anything like that. So
and somebody below them would have to jump as well.
Yes. Right. Speaking of major injuries. At what number? Help.
12.
We have the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah.
This is a team that honestly, talent on paper would be higher than this.
Yeah.
For sure. I would absolutely, talent on paper, put them. They have Jack Hughes. They have Nico Hischier. That is one of the best top two centers combinations in the NHL. I don't actually think there are any that are better. I think healthy, I would take that combination over any other combination of two center. I mean, unless we're counting Draisaitl as a 2C,
right?
In which case,
Yeah.
But that's not really how the Oilers work.
Yeah.
So, but like line to line, center to center, there's that, and then defensively. I mean, this is just an insanely good team. They got the Luke Hughes contract done. So they've got Luke Hughes. They've got Dougie Hamilton, who, if he's healthy, is insanely good. And they have every single surrounding piece that you could possibly want on the blue line for those two guys to be able to do what it is that they do. And they have extras. Yeah, exactly.
Because Casey looked great in the preseason, Seamus Casey. And then Kovacevic is coming back in January-ish. Like... Yeah. They have like 8.
They have eight NHL quality blue liners, some with higher ceilings than that. And then I think Markstrom is a goalie that can get it done if he's healthy. But every single one of these guys has had major injury concerns in the last few years. I mean, Jack Hughes still has not had a healthy season. Dougie Hamilton. Probably not gonna have a healthy season. Hasn't done that in a very long time, right? We got Jacob Markstrom, a guy who could have an injury and derail them as well. Like there's just so many injury issues to me with this team for me to put them any higher than this. But if somehow some miracle happens and they're blessed with the most insanely good health that could ever happen, this is a team that could win the Stanley Cup. I last year they were my Stanley Cup predictor coming out of the East because I foolishly thought that there's no way that they're all injured again, and you just look at this lineup and you're like, holy cow, this is an insanely good lineup. But so
I did the same
if
thing
they're
2 years
healthy.
ago.
If they're healthy, they're crazy. If they're not healthy, which has been what's happened year after year after year, then I think that they'll make the playoffs. But
I could see them missing.
They're a team that could have enough injuries to get jumped by one of these teams and should make the playoffs. That is not, though, to get jumped by the Habs specifically, right? If you're a Habs fan, you're rooting for the Devils' demise here because that is one of the easiest ways to guarantee that you get in the playoffs.
Or one of these three down here.
Yeah, or a Columbus sneaks in, right? Or a Buffalo sneaks in, or maybe even the Red Wings.
I don't know.
A lot has to go right for them, but So that's the eternal struggle of the Devils, right? Can you really even think about this team without thinking about health issues? So
you can't.
Okay. Next up, at number 11 is the Washington Capitals.
Okay.
I am I'm crazy. I think I'm going to be different than a lot of other people with one team that we're about to get to.
There's one that's standing out to me right now.
You're thinking that I should have said already.
Yeah,
I'm sure. But yeah, I think the Washington Capitals had a bit of an overperformance last year.
Yep.
I still think they're in the Metro.
Yep.
And they have a good blue line.
Yep.
And they have a solid forward group with some good players that are good to watch. So I think they're still a really good team. Still potentially could be Stanley Cup contenders, but I wouldn't put them as the favorites. And I think they're a little worse than some of these other teams. So I'm not convinced that Logan Thompson is that guy. I mean, he's definitely good enough to get them to the playoffs. Like, he's definitely a good goalie. I'm not convinced he's one of the 4 best goalies in the NHL.
No.
Right? Which is what he looked like last year.
Yeah.
So, I think there will be a little bit of regression there. I think, there's some questions in their top 6 about who's going to perform. Basically, every single player on their team had a career year last year.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem sustainable.
Nope.
Right? Like, you'd expect you like to see like a team get better as a group and take this leap and stuff like that, which they obviously did. And they're obviously still a good team, but I think we're going to see just a little bit of regression here.
Yeah.
Out of the Capitals.
Yeah. Some of those guys like Protas and McMichael's not too surprising at a career year. Like they're just progressing.
Right. They're at that time, but like Dylan Strome
and Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson.
Those guys had outlier years, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's
also it's year 2 for PLD. So that's where the
that's true.
The shine starts to wear off.
PLD, another guy who had a career year.
Yeah. His first year is always good with the team, and then the next year is a disaster.
We'll see what version of PLD that we get this year for the Capitals, because a lot of their top 6 is riding on him being a really good player. Yeah. So we've seen him be a not good player at all. So, So that's where I have Washington. And right above them, I have probably the team that you were thinking of, the New York Rangers. I'm predicting a major bounce back for the New York Rangers this year. I think this team looks significantly better than it did last year, at the beginning of the year, at least. And just 2 years ago, they won the President's Trophy.
Yeah.
Like, this team hasn't changed that much from what that team was. I mean, I guess it has now, but like the team last year was very similar to what the team was that won the President's Trophy, right? And I think they've gotten way better this season. I think a full year of JT Miller is going to do wonders for them.
Yeah.
I mean, JT Miller is just a really good player, right?
Yep.
And so I think that's going to be really nice for him. I like the pickup of Gavrikov as Fox's thing. I think that's going to be one of the scariest pairs in the entire NHL. And I mean, Igor Shesterkin is one of the best goalies in the National Hockey League. Yep. He had an off year last year, but I mean, he's done it enough times in the past that I have complete and total faith in him to be that guy.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, looking at this team, it's just a great team.
You didn't even mention their biggest ad.
Yeah, Mike Sullivan.
Yeah.
They just picked up a fantastic coach, multi-time Stanley Cup winning coach.
Yep.
A guy that can potentially help turn around the Rock, because you after such a disappointing year like last year, you kind of need that kind of change. But like, picking up Mike Sullivan, like I don't know, I just can't think of a better fit, like coaching wise, like for where this team is, than picking up somebody like Sully who can come in and just do that. Like Sully struggled with the Penguins because he's not the kind of guy that knows how to do developmental stuff. He's got his system, and he doesn't want to adjust his system to help young guys out or to do that stuff. But the Rangers are a team that are good enough to do whatever he needs them to do. Like there's enough talent on this roster to just get it done. And so I think this is like my biggest, major, spiciest prediction that this team is good. like really good.
Yeah.
And that they could, I don't currently have them at the top of the Metro because there's another team here that I'm going to put higher than, but I could see them winning the Metro again.
Yeah.
You know, there's a world where that happens. I think this team has done everything they could this offseason to bounce back. Mm-hmm. This is a good roster. Like, this is a really good roster.
Yeah. And like, if you think back to those 2016, 2017 Cups that Pittsburgh won, obviously New York doesn't have Sidney Crosby. But, like, Shesterkin's, I think, inarguably a million times better than Matt Murray. And I think Adam Fox is better than anybody that was on that Penguins team on defense.
Yeah.
Gavrikov might also at this point be better than any other player. That's more debatable, but
yeah.
I mean, what
certainly the most different kind of player than Chris Letang, but
yeah.
But yeah, this is I don't know. If I'm a Rangers fan, I'm extremely excited for this year because it seems like they've got all the pieces that they need to have the bounce back year and to go right back into being like real contenders.
Yeah.
So that's where I have them. I'm sure that a lot of people are gonna think would have put them in some of these lower tiers. But I don't know. I'm confident in this team.
Yeah.
Okay. And then next up, I have the Tampa Bay Lightning.
At number 9.
Number 9, I have the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yep.
Colin, this is a good team.
Yeah. Yeah,
this is a good team. It's a team that has been good for a long time.
Yeah. I question the depth.
Yeah.
At all 3 positions.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really good.
Yeah. They got to stay healthy.
Yes.
Because they don't have the depth.
Yes.
And they're getting older.
Yes. Particularly
but I mean, yeah.
The blue line's really old.
Yeah, really old. But like, I mean, this is just a good team.
Yeah.
They got one of the best goalies in the NHL, maybe the best goalie in the NHL still.
Yep.
In Vasilevsky. They got one of the best top lines in the NHL.
Yep.
In Gensel, Point, Kucherov.
Yep.
Insanely good line. Kucherov, one of the best offensive players in the NHL at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe the best. Could be.
Yeah. I think he's in the debate.
Yeah. They got Hagel and Sorelli, and we won't talk about who else is going to be on their other line, but that's 2/3 of the best second line in the NHL.
Yeah.
You know? And then that's kind of where it ends.
Yeah. It gets, I mean, Nick Paul's pretty good on the third line.
When he comes back from injury.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick Paul's a good 3C.
Yep.
You know, Oliver Borkstrand is a solid winger, I guess, but there's just not enough sauce there for them to withstand any injuries. And then after Hedman, the quality of their blue line is just in the dumpster. I mean, JJ Moser on the top pairing. Like, please, can we? Please, can we? Please.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There's some question marks about depth, but there's no question about, I mean, like the proven playoff performances of these players, right? All these players that we've talked about have been to the playoffs, have done the stuff. Most of them have won a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Right? Like most of them have won 2 Stanley Cups.
Yep.
Right? Like this is still a team that is as scary as any of the other ones. I'm just a little more worried about their depth than some of the other teams that I've got on a little higher than them.
Yep.
So this is part of why the Atlantic is one of the scariest divisions in the NHL.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're freaking good. They are freaking good.
They definitely are.
It's just a great hockey. I mean, it's crazy how many good hockey players you can just fit onto that team.
Yeah.
Another crazy good team in the Atlantic. I've got the Toronto Maple Leafs next.
Number 8.
They had a good offseason. As much as you can say they had a good offseason losing Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to be better after losing a 100-point player.
Yeah.
After losing a Mitch Marner. But they filled up all of the depth slots to me that they had always been lacking in.
Yeah.
So, like, this third line looks way better than any third line that they've fielded in a long time. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of things to be excited about for this Maple Leafs team. I don't know what their ceiling is because it's the Maple Leafs and they've been just the worst playoff underperformers that you can possibly imagine. Like, it's unreal how many ways I know you. I don't have to tell you, but it's unreal how many ways this team has found to disappoint its fans come playoff time. How many amazing teams have just not been able to get it done. But I mean, this is a good team.
I stare off into the void of despair of being a Leafs fan.
This is a great freaking team. It's crazy. It's crazy how good this team is. So, you know, we'd love to see them get someone a little better than Morgan Riley as their power play captain and like kind of de facto like one offensive C. But if Stolarz has a year anywhere close to what he was showing last year before he got injured. Great team.
Yeah.
Great team. So, and I'm expecting a bounce back from Matthews as well.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. I mean,
he
hoping. Went from being an all-world goal scorer to being a this-world goal scorer, you know, just like one of the best still, but like, not
a 35-goal down season. Man, I only got 35.
Yeah, but he had 69 the year before that.
Yeah.
69, Colin.
It is a 50% drop.
And insane. So I don't think he'll score 69 again.
Probably not.
But if we get 50, I think that's within his wheelhouse easy, right?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, if he's healthy. If he's healthy, he's a lock for 45, 50.
Exactly. So I think a healthy year out of Matthews and some interesting depth changes to this team, I think could potentially, there's diminishing returns with Mitch Marner, where, they were just so top heavy already.
Yeah.
They were just so top heavy already, right? Like, can Matthews still score 50 goals with Max Domi and Matthew Nyes on his wing?
Probably.
I think so. I think so.
Or, we try Nylander with Matthews again, or Michelli's, something.
Right. Potentially a guy. Yeah, there's a lot of ways for them to answer that question, and then the rest of the roster looks like the depth looks way better than like say the Lightning, for instance, especially their blue line. Right.
Yeah.
That depth looks really really good. This is one of the best blue lines that I can think of, just in terms of like just raw depth. Every guy is going to go out there and going to give you like solid, consistent performances.
Yeah,
like not a weak link there. So that's pretty awesome. Honestly, that's a huge part of being a big playoff team, right? Is just having like that consistent blue line.
Yep.
So yeah, great team. Great team. And then the last team in my will make the playoffs tier is the Winnipeg Jets.
Winnipeg at 7.
Winnipeg at 7. And they got worse, Colin.
They did. I think
they lost
there's no argument to put them lower.
There probably is. They lost Nick Ehlers.
Yep.
And they didn't really replace him at all. And so the Maple Leafs lost Marner, a similar thing, but in turn they bolstered a lot of their depth, and they added a lot of depth forwards and some guys that have the upside to potentially not replace Mitch Marner, but be top 6 guys. Right? Be top 6 guys. Yeah, in the aggregate, right? Be top 6 guys. I'm not so sure that Winnipeg did that at all.
No.
Right? We've got Nyquist. That was the replacement for Nick Ehlers. And hoping that, I don't know. So you look at this team, and I love this team's blue line.
Yeah,
I love this team's blue line. It's just so good. Josh Morrissey is great, right? They've got great guys behind him. Sandberg got injured in the preseason, but I love Sandberg. Love Dylan DeMello. And then Connor Hellebuck is, coming off one of the best seasons ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
he's still one of the best regular season goalies ever.
Yep.
The ceiling for this team depends on if he can get it together in the playoffs. But also other things. But I just don't see any world where this team misses the playoffs ever.
Probably not. But a Hellebuck injury.
Yeah, but that would be a major enough
injury.
Yeah, those are major enough injuries that I'm gonna But yeah,
but I mean, if Scheifele goes out, what is Jonathan Taves gonna be the 1C?
Yeah.
Or say Adam Lowry comes back in time for the Scheifele injury. Is Adam Lowry your 1C? I think there's a lot of.
There's certainly some questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth questions on this team.
Maybe I have them a little bit too high, but I just think if they just get another healthy season, this team is just such a lock for the playoffs.
Yeah, if Hellebuck wins the Vezina, then
right. And I think if he's healthy, he's just gonna win, or not win, but he's gonna have another top 3 Vezina year.
Yep,
for sure. And I think this blue line is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So and there's enough pieces in the rest of their team. They're honestly it isn't their bottom 6 that's terrible, right? It's it's more so the middle 6 kind of.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Where they kind of need to fill out those roles. Jonathan Taves is probably not should be a 2C for a playoff team.
Yeah.
But if they get enough contributions out of everything, I don't know. They're a weird team, but I just have a lot of faith in them because of Helly, because of this blue line, and because, Connor, Scheifele, Velarde is still an incredible first line.
Yeah, it is.
Kyle Connor is one of the best goal scorers in the NHL.
Yep.
Kind of hard for me to. I could have probably put him below maybe the Lightning. Maybe 2 slots lower than this is where they're appropriate to be, but I don't know.
I think them having a full blue line helps them a lot.
Yeah, I think having a full blue line is a little more important than having full
second line, or 2/3 of a second line, I guess
2/3 of a second line. Yeah. So
yeah,
I don't know. Well. They're definitely an interesting team.
Yeah.
I think we'll know pretty quick, honestly, with them where they're gonna be. So they could be volatile. I have them here, but I could see them dropping as low as the bottom of this tier.
Yeah.
If they come out the gate and they look terrible. I don't know. There's a world where they drop lower than that just because the Central is so tough. But
yeah. If they lose a bunch of divisional games, then
yeah.
I think they'll be. I don't think they're going to win a President's Trophy this year.
Yeah.
I think they'll be worse. But also, I didn't think they were going to do it last year. I didn't think they were going to be a President's Trophy caliber team. So, who knows? Maybe they didn't need Nick Ehlers after all.
I think they kind of needed Nick Ehlers.
I think they definitely need Nick Ehlers.
Yeah.
But it might not be that big of a deal.
Can I offer you a slightly used Ricard Raquel?
I think that wouldn't be the worst move for them.
I think they will probably make some moves to shore up that.
Unless Cole Perfetti turns into goal Perfetti, if he just drops a 30, 32, 35 goal season,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Cole Perfetti. I think he's got a lot to his game. So there's some potential answers here, but there's also a lot of questions.
Yep.
So it's weird to say for a team that I have ranked 7, but the things that they have that are good are just so good. The blue line, the goalies, the top line, those are just so good. So you just have to assume that they're going to be able to find the rest of the pieces amongst what they've got and what they can acquire. So,
and I think going back to you saying there's what did we say, 22 teams that could make the playoffs, and how there's the depth of the NHL is really good, and there's a lot of contender-ish teams, serious teams. I think they're also at the top. All these teams kind of have at least one big question. So there's not, I don't think flawless teams with this
because of the because of the Barkov injury. I'll agree with you there. But pre-Barkov injury, Florida was actually you could even say Bob is a question mark sometimes during the regular season. So I mean you're right. Every single team in the NHL has some weaknesses, right? Yeah. So it's about what you can do to fix those and cover up for them. Yep. So yeah. All right. With that, I think we should move into the Cup favorites tier. These are the top 6 teams. Yep. Maybe I should have made it 5, but I think there's 6. 5 is just a cleaner number, but I think these teams are all teams that could win the Stanley Cup this year.
Yes.
If I had to place a bet, I would bet that the Stanley Cup winner is one of the 6 teams. That is like the most confident that I can be. I wouldn't make a bet of any of these 1 teams winning or anything like that, but I think it's going to be one of these 6 teams. I think I've picked out one of the 6 teams that it's going to be right here. So at the bottom of this tier, at number 6, I have Carolina, actually.
Oh, okay.
I think a lot of people are higher on Carolina than I am. I still love Carolina. I think this team is really good. But I think they have quite a few questions, actually.
Yeah.
The first one is their 2C situation.
Yep.
Logan Stankoven is currently set to be their 2C.
Yep.
I think we'll see.
Yep.
He's 22 years old. He's looked like a winger the entire time that he's been decent in the NHL. Does he have 2C in him? He could, maybe. And then the bottom 6 doesn't really have any scoring potential at all. To me, they're kind of just like grinders and defensive guys, and like that's good. But like, is that where maybe the offense runs dry? At this point, these teams are locks for the playoffs, right? And now I'm talking about what is a playoff, what is like their playoff matchups look like, right? And when I look at this Carolina team, I'm just a little questioning of that. It's like kind of a similar issue to the Jets.
Yeah.
But they've got a lot of good defensive players in their bottom 6, but do they have a lot of guys that are going to go get you a goal when you need one? Because sometimes you need your third line to be able to do that, right? And then I think their defense group is really, really good.
Yeah.
But there are still some questions about fit, about how things are going to happen together. So, how is Keandre Miller going to be in this group, right? How is Alexander Nikishin going to come and look in the NHL? Obviously, he looks very solid in the playoffs and in the preseason, but can he put together a full 82 of looking like a really good player? There's just some questions. And then Freddie Anderson.
Yeah.
Is he going to be healthy?
No.
Yeah.
So he's a long-time Freddie Anderson follower. No,
right?
He will not.
So this is the team that acquired Nick Ehlers from the Jets. And so their top group looks insanely good.
Yep.
There's a lot of great things about this Carolina group, but I still have a lot of questions. And so if I get some answers to those questions early on in the season, they're a team that could jump up even all the way to being like top 3, I could see.
Yeah.
But right now where they're at, I just have a couple of questions. So that's where Carolina's at for me, is at 6. And then at number 5, I have the Dallas Stars.
Okay.
Yep. I think that the Dallas Stars are obviously a really good team if they're a top 5 team in the NHL.
Yep.
They got some questions about the depth of their blue line. They got a third pairing that I have no faith in at all. And they got like a 4 I don't know, like if Sagan gets injured, which he's going to get injured.
Yep.
Like who do they have? Like, what are we looking at here? Like this forward depth is like extremely questionable,
Yeah.
And they're like right up against the salary cap and thinking about long term between Harley and Robertson, that are both guys that are going to need to get paid next year, right? Yes. 2 guys on expiring deals that are incredibly good players, right? And I think something's going to give. And I think if they're smart, something's going to give this season, not next season.
Yeah, they're going to have to get creative, I think.
Because there's no way... There's no way they can afford to pay Harley the $9 million that he's going to make, because he's going to make I want to say that the market is set at $9 million here.
Yep.
That's what Lacombe got. That's what Luke Hughes got.
Yep.
Harley is the same tier as those guys, right? Maybe he might even be the best out of that group.
I'd probably take Hughes, but yeah,
questionable.
Yeah.
Right. He's right at that level, right? Yeah. So he's going to make $9 million.
Yep.
Robertson is going to make more than his 7.75, right? I don't know, and they still have Sagan next year, and they have holes in this roster that they're going to want to fill, right?
Yep.
So to me, this is a team that's going to make some kind of desperate play at the deadline, or maybe before, something like that. I think they kind of need that. Or they
treat one of Robertson or Harley, rumors are Robertson, as like a rental.
Yeah,
and then figure it out after the season and trade his rights, like Alicia with Marner or something.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then that makes less of an impact on my rankings right now. But I still think there's a lot of questions here.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. But really good team. I mean, you can't say that a team with Heiskanen and Harley to the top 20, 25.
Yeah, 25-ish.
Defensemen in the NHL. Yeah. You can't say that's not a great start to a blue line. And then they've got some pieces like an Asa Lindell around that. And then they got Ottinger, one of the best goalies. And I mean, Robertson, Hintz, Rannon is one of the top. That's an insanely good top line, right?
Yeah.
Like Duchesne, one of the best 2Cs. I had just an insanely good year last year, right? Like they've got so many of these good pieces, but their depth compared to last year is way worse.
Yeah.
And they didn't have what it takes to get it done last year.
Yeah, they didn't have great depth last year.
Yeah, so I'm a little worried about them here, but like there's just too many good pieces here for me to rate them any lower than 5.
So many games.
Yeah,
but like I just don't know if they'll win the important ones.
Right. Yeah. What are they going to look like in the playoffs? Yeah. That's going to be the question. So,
but like all these, they're going to just blow up these teams down here. They're going to be dropping orbital nukes on these teams.
Yeah. Wyatt Johnston, by the way, didn't mention his name, but what an incredibly good player. Like, what the hell? How do they just keep finding 22-year-old, like, studs? Like, what is this?
Yep.
Oh, my God. 30 goals?
Yeah.
30-goal year last year? And the year, like...
It was kind of a bit of a down year for, like, the expectations.
Yeah, this guy is just crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy that they found another one of those guys right there. So, and I don't know if any of, maybe Maverick Bork ends up that guy too, I'm not convinced, but like there's...
He won a AHL MVP 2 years ago for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not bad.
He's got very good potential. So they're interesting team. A lot of questions, but a lot of things to love, right? Yeah. A lot of things to love.
Yep.
Okay, at number 4, I have the Colorado Avalanche.
Yep. That makes sense to me.
Yep. This team is really good.
These two teams are very, very similar in my mind.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Both of them have like just insanely good top ends.
Yeah.
Some of the best top end in the entire NHL.
Yep.
And then there's a lot of questions about depth and who's going to fill it out outside of that.
Yeah.
Colorado gets the bonus of health to me.
Yeah.
Little bonus thing, but I think they're...
Landeskog's coming off of not playing for like since their last cup.
Yeah, Nichushkin's never gotten one together,
Yeah.
So they're... Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird team.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they have Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon.
Yep.
They have the best defenseman and probably the second or third best center.
Yeah.
In the National Hockey League, right? And then there's good pieces around that, right? Like I don't know. This whole top 6 of Colorado looks good.
Yeah.
And then their bottom 6 is a little questionable, but it's not terrible.
No.
And then their defensive core, like they got Devon Taves, who's, also, we talked about Dallas has 2 top 25 defensemen. So does Colorado.
Yep.
And, Makar is number 1. While, maybe Miro is top 7.
Yeah.
If we're being generous.
Yep.
Right. So this is really good. Now, one thing, they're a little more questionable with Blackwood, Wedgwood as their goaltending duo. I would be a little bit less confident in that than Ottinger, but I mean, I don't know. Blackwood is a good goalie.
Yeah, looked good last year.
So yeah, it was good last year. So this team is definitely more complete than the Stars, which is why I have them higher than them.
Yeah.
There's still some questions about forward depth. That final pairing, Malinsky Burns, a little questionable. And then goalie, like, there's some questions. There's some questions, but I mean, this is the most complete team we've talked about so far, and that's why they're the highest, in my mind.
Yeah.
So that's why I've got them at 4. And at number 3, I have the Florida Panthers. This was my easy number 1 before the Barkov injury. And before, I guess, we knew that we're going to miss all of Tkachuk for that long. But, I mean, even without Barkov and Tkachuk, this is a team that obviously is coming off 2 straight Stanley Cup wins.
Yeah.
2 straight, like, pretty comfortable Stanley Cup wins. I mean, I guess they went to 7 2 years ago, but, like, it was a weird 7 where I feel like they looked like they were the better team for basically the entire series.
Yeah. Edmonton came back from like 3-0 to force game 7.
Yeah. So I mean, like they had the upper hand for most of the series, and then they finished it. But like, this is still, I don't know. They just had so many pieces. It's hard to like, basically their second line would be a first line on several teams. Their third line would be a second line on almost any team. So they've just kind of pushed those guys up, and then they still have like some depth behind them. You know what I mean? Like, they still have some guys, and then their defensive group is still incredibly good.
Yep.
Maybe the best in the entire NHL, probably the best in the entire NHL.
I'd say so.
And then Bobrovsky's a proven playoff goalie for the last 2 years in a row. So the questions for this team, if we're treating them as a Barkov-less and Tkachuk-less team, is depth. But once they get those guys back, which I think they probably will get both those guys back come playoff time, they'll definitely have Tkachuk back.
Oh yeah,
we'll see about Barkov
in January or December.
We'll see about Barkov, but Tkachuk coming back makes them significantly deeper, and then obviously Barkov is one of the best centers in the National Hockey League and is incredible. So if he comes back for the playoffs, they immediately go back to number 1 in my mind. But that's the big question for me. I think even without Barkov, I think they can still make huge waves.
Yeah, they'll still
right.
Be good.
Like this defense group is too good. They play too good of like just consistent hockey, where they just play to their system, and they have all these guys that just grind and score and make you make mistakes, and they hit you, and they play the best kind of playoff hockey that you could possibly play.
Yeah,
like. And so that didn't change. So despite losing, one of the best players in the National Hockey League, I still think the group here is really good. Yeah. So just not quite as good, obviously, as with Barkov. Yeah. So and with Barkov and Tkachuk, the only question mark is that Bob is 37.
Yeah.
And maybe some health issues happen, or maybe the fall off starts here, and they don't really have a backup option for him.
Yeah. I also do wonder, like, every team is going to have injuries this season, and it is October 5th. Season has not started yet, and they're already down like 2 major players. Like, if they have another injury, which like Ekblad hasn't been the healthiest player, like how many can this team sustain and stay afloat? Yeah, like this is a big boat, true. And it can withstand some holes, but like how many holes?
Right.
Until
when your baseline holes are Barkov and Tkachuk that you're losing for this long, like how many other injuries can they afford to have early in the season where they'll still be able to play winning hockey, right?
Yeah. And like
So,
half this roster is going to go to the Olympics, which is they're not going to get that 3-week break.
Right.
That
and they've played more hockey than any other team.
Yeah.
Over the last 3 years.
Yep.
So yeah, for sure. And then, like we've said, there's teams like Montreal in the Atlantic just knocking, right?
Yep.
Just waiting to see if there's room for them. So yeah, I mean, that's the world where the Panthers miss, but
yeah,
I wouldn't bet on it.
No,
I wouldn't bet against this team. No. Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. All right, at number 2, I have put the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Okay.
I have put the Vegas Golden Knights. They added Mitch Marner.
They did.
So they're an incredibly good team.
Yes, they did.
Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy to be able to add a Mitch Marner to an already good team. This top 6 is crazy.
Yeah. I'd say top 9.
This top 9 is crazy. I'd agree with that.
Because I like that third line a lot.
I like that third line a lot too. No, you're right. And yeah, Aiden Hill is a competent goalie.
Yep.
This is a great blue line with Hannafin, Theodore, good pieces around him. Maybe this is the most complete team that we've talked about in terms of like not really having holes.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think there's a lot of question marks about health with a lot of the key players on this team.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Devil's Light, where I'd be worried about an Eichel injury. I'd be worried about a Stone injury. I'd be worried about Herschel. Like all these like there's just guys here that are that have like a history of injuries.
Missed a lot of time.
Theodore's missed a lot of time, right? And he's going to get more usage now than he ever has before, right? As like the actual 1D of this team. So there's just some questions there about health. But, I mean, really, it's just this is a very complete team.
Yep.
And the thing that puts, because obviously the Oilers are the team that I haven't mentioned, the thing that I think puts the Oilers ahead of them is the ceiling.
Yeah.
Because to me, Eichel is a top 8, 7 center, maybe something in that range. Marner is a top 5-ish wing.
Yep.
5-ish wing, and then no one else on the team is really in that same conversation where they're in the top 10 of their position group.
Yeah.
And we talked about Florida, where I'd probably put I'd put Bob up there for goalies. I'd put Barkov up there. I'd put Sam Reinhart up there.
Yep.
I'd put Bennett up there for 2 Cs. Like, I'd put one of their 2 defensemen in top 10, but probably both of them are 15-ish.
Yep.
Right? Between Forsling and Ekblad. You look at Colorado, we got McKinnon, we got Makar. That's it. But like, there's still 2 guys that are top 2 at their position, right?
Yeah.
You look at the Stars, and we talked about Heiskanen. We didn't talk about Rantanen being a top 10 winger, but he is.
Yep.
Right. Like there's at one of Duchesne or Wyatt Johnston is a top 10 2C in the NHL,
and the other
right?
one's
Maybe
top.
both of them are right.
Yeah. Whichever one you don't pick is like a top
right
3
is the
3C.
Yeah, exactly. So like position, and then and for Carolina, they've got I think also similar ceiling issues maybe to Vegas. In terms of not having like the best player, but like you kind of this isn't basketball. You don't need like the best player to do stuff, but it sure helps having the best player on the ice at all times, right?
Yeah.
And
Kucherov definitely won Tampa some cups.
Yeah,
and Vasi.
Exactly. So that's where I think that this happens. They also have like I said, with the injury concerns, they've got some depth issues for guys that are going to be able to step up and play in those positions. But I mean, I just question this, that if they have the ceiling to make it all the way. But not a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they're top 2.
Yep.
So, and then number 1, I have the Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to lose games when you have the best player on the ice for, 40 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Like they're...
And when you're down 1 and you need to win with the last 5 minutes, you can just ice the 2 best players in the game for 5 minutes.
Exactly. And they'll just do it, and they'll just find you goals. They'll just find goals that no other player in the National Hockey League can do. I mean, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl both being on the same team is an absolute cheat code.
Yep.
It's an absolute cheat code. And it's not like the team behind them is bad.
No.
Like, this is a fine forward group.
Yeah.
Right? It's fine. It's not a great forward group, but it's fine. And it obviously, you have McDavid and Draisaitl, so it doesn't matter as much. And then this blue line is way better than it has any right to be.
Oh, yeah.
For how much money is being spent on Darnell Nurse and all this other stuff. Like, this is still, a top 10 blue line group in the National Hockey League.
Yep.
And, the only question for them, and the reason that they haven't won any cups, is because they haven't addressed their goalie issue.
Yeah.
And if they do manage to find something, then instantly, I think super favorites. But even if they don't, Florida is the only team that has been able to match up against them.
Yeah.
Because Florida had 3 lines, right? Florida had 3 scoring, hitting, defensive lines. And the Oilers have 2 Draisaitl McDavids, right? They have 2 all-world players versus 3 lines. So I think that's where Florida had the advantage.
Yeah.
And that's why they were able to win. But with Barkov gone, Florida no longer has 3 lines. So for me, in the regular season, this is the best team.
And McDavid
I don't
gets
think,
unlocked with no Barkov.
Yes. Exactly. Barkov, the only thing that has been able to slow down McDavid. In the last two Stanley Cup Finals. So to me, I don't think any other team is going to be able to do what Florida was able to do to the Oilers. And I think even if Stuart Skinner is not a good goalie, and even if they don't make any upgrades, so even if Stuart Skinner is not a good goalie and they never make an upgrade to him, I just don't see how any of these other teams are able to match up against the 2 best players in the National Hockey League, basically, for that amount of time. It's just crazy. Crazy how good this team is. Yeah. So,
and Hyman is expected to come back in November. Mm-hmm. So that just bolsters this depth.
Yep.
So, yeah, this team is seems really good. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to like and subscribe, and let us know in the comment section, where do you agree with us, where do you disagree with us, and I hope to see you all next time.